Let's say you finally get that promotion. The pay bump hits your bank account, and for a few days, you feel like you can finally breathe. But 6 months later, you check your balance and realize you are somehow under the exact same amount of financial pressure as before. The extra money is slipping right through your fingers. Think of your personal finances like this simple diagram of a bucket. The stream of water pouring in from the top is your income, your salary, your bonuses, your side hustles. The water that actually stays inside the bucket is your wealth. But down at the bottom of that bucket, you might have tiny, invisible holes. These leaks drain your resources quietly, matching the speed of the water coming in. These holes are wealth traps. They rarely look like massive, dramatic financial disasters. Instead, they look like minor comforts, harmless daily habits, and socially acceptable choices. Because they blend perfectly into ordinary life, they feel completely normal. Earning more money will not save you if these holes remain open. A heavier stream of water just means the bucket empties faster. To actually build financial stability, you have to identify these invisible leaks and plug them. The first major leak is lifestyle inflation. This happens when every raise, bonus, or good month is immediately treated as permission to upgrade your life. You buy slightly better food, nicer clothes, a newer phone, or a more expensive apartment. This chart shows lifestyle inflation. Your income line rises steadily, but right beneath it, your expense line tracks perfectly parallel. Because your lifestyle expands with your paycheck, the gap between what you earn and keep stays incredibly thin. Wealth only grows inside that gap. The next trap is confusing cheap with valuable. We often think we're making a smart financial choice by picking the item with the lowest price tag. But cheap simply means a low initial cost, high return for your money over time. Consider buying a cheap pair of shoes. They cost very little up front, but they fall apart in 2 months, forcing you to buy another pair, and then another. If you invest in a single, high-quality pair that lasts for years, you spend far less overall. When you always choose the cheapest option, you end up buying the same problem repeatedly. Then there is status debt. This is when you borrow money to finance a luxury car, a designer watch, or an expensive vacation. You are taking out loans specifically to project an immediate image of wealth to the people around you. The hidden cost here is severe. Status debt pulls money out of your future to pay for attention in the present. It hands the bill to your future self. You become locked into your current income level just to maintain the payments, leaving you with fewer options and much less freedom. Spending your resources to look successful creates an expensive illusion. Money that should go into learning new skills, buying helpful tools, or building an emergency fund is wasted on signals. It actively prevents you from building actual, durable wealth. Not all leaks are about what you buy. Many are about how you feel. Emotional spending is making purchases simply to relieve stress, boredom, or fatigue after a hard day. You aren't buying an item because you need it. You are buying it to change your mood. It's like tearing into a piece of candy for dinner. It gives you a quick hit of dopamine and a brief moment of relief, but it provides absolutely no lasting nourishment. The flaw in emotional spending is that the original problem remains untouched. Your job is still stressful and you are still tired, but now the money is gone. This lowers your bank balance, which creates even more financial pressure, triggering another cycle of stress and spending. Another quiet trap lies in your social circle. Human beings are deeply social creatures, and we naturally absorb the behaviors of the people we spend time with. We copy what feels normal in our environment. If your friends treat credit card debt as a standard part of adulthood, laugh at the idea of budgets, and normalize going out every weekend, those behaviors become your baseline. You will start acting out those habits just to feel like you belong. You cannot out-earn a bad emotional coping mechanism, and you cannot easily outsave a toxic financial environment. True financial progress requires you to separate your emotional comfort from your wallet and pay close attention to the habits your friends reward. The final trap is relying on motivation. Motivation feels incredibly powerful at 1 a.m. when you decide to change your life. But motivation is an unstable emotion. It completely vanishes the moment you feel stressed, tired, or overwhelmed by pressure. This flowchart demonstrates the alternative, a system. A system is an automatic rule. When a paycheck arrives, it immediately splits into 3 distinct paths, routing to savings, bills, and investments. without you ever touching a button or making a choice. Discipline is no longer required. Building wealth through systems is quiet, repetitive, and often looks boring from the outside. It requires routinely saying no to affordable upgrades and letting your automatic transfers do the heavy lifting while that foundation stacks up in the background. When you fix these leaks, you realize something important. The ultimate goal of money is not to buy the appearance of success. The goal is to buy your own time, peace of mind, and the flexibility to make choices on your own terms. The true opposite of being broke isn't looking rich, it is becoming hard to break. So take a look at your own habits today. What financial system can you put on autopilot this week? Which of your recent purchases were just emotional band-aids? And does your social circle normalize staying financially stuck? Every leak you find is an opportunity to keep more of what you earn. Start plugging those holes in your bucket today, and you will secure the freedom you have been working so hard for. Thanks for watching, and take care.